Hey, greetings from the stable of Out of the Box podcast. I am your regular host, Gabriel Ishmael Jallo. I receive series of calls, text messages, audio messages of people finding out why is it that the podcast has suffered some amount of delinquency closing to the year and the early weeks of this year. I want to first of all thank you for being very supportive. I can't believe that the 3-month podcast will be so attractive to people far and near. I'm very, very, very grateful. I want to thank all those who pioneered the dream for me to start the podcast. I want to thank all of you. I also want you to know that I felt sick. I was attacked and I was hospitalized for almost 5 weeks. I've been trying to battle the challenge. Then subsequently, I lost my lovely mother, and the challenges are very enormous. But by and large, you guys are marvelous. I'm very, very grateful for what we have achieved together. I saw my Setting the Record Straight episode is closing to 3,000 views. I saw my testimony is getting close to 400 views. I saw the Amankwa Trump interview is also reaching 400. And I'm very, very, very grateful. And I saw the short videos. Oh God, you guys are very, very marvelous. I'm very grateful. I'm also praying to God for 2025 to usher the world with a sustainable peace. The world has been very chaotic, even more chaotic than the era of the Second World War. Today, it's not a centered global war as the Second World War, but today the skirmishes that have ensued the world and the challenge that humanity is facing is beyond our understanding. So, Out of the Box podcast, we are calling on world leaders, calling on humanity to know that there is no substitute for peace. We cannot have a sanitized world, a developed world, when we don't have world peace. So it is very, very important that we place premium on world peace. But as an astute reader of the Bible and other major religious manuscripts like the Islamic Quran and the Hadith, the Hindus Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas and the Holy Bible and of the Christian, the various books of the how they call them, Judaism, and all the quotes that I've encountered, including the lovely ones of the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm really touched by Emperor Haile Selassie's speech that he delivered to the League of Nations in 1936 when he was invaded by the Italian, and he also re-echoed that speech on the 4th of August 1963 at the United Nations. And because that speech encompasses all the dimensional facets of global peace, all the dimensional angles of global peace. This speech has been accredited to the late reggae legend Bob Marley. But actually, because Bob Marley is a celebrity, he's a musician, and he has that global recognition, he is now carrying the embodiment of that speech. But actually, that speech came from the lips of one of African patriarch, one of the founding members of the Organization of African Unity, Emperor Haile Sellasie. I love that speech to the extent that if the world would have subscribed to the ideals of that speech, we would have been enjoying world peace. That speech that he said, until the philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, there will be no peace. Everywhere is war. Everywhere. Bob Marley said, and everywhere is war, and is a war. Everywhere is war. There's war in Ukraine. What are they fighting for? Self-superiority. Somebody is stretching its muscles and projecting what we call spheres of influence. Spheres of influence. That's what is killing thousands of people in Ukraine. Disagreement, superiority. And one thing that I see about those wars is that those who are fighting on the ground are not actually the warriors. They are only being used as proxy. Those who are pulling the triggers are in NATO, are in Washington, are in China, are in Iran, are in North Korea, while humanity is perishing. That philosophy that's projected a superficial belief that those who are born in Burma, the Burmese, the Philippines, they are inferior to those who are born in the United Kingdom. And those who are born in Dubai, because of their economic power, they are superior to those who are born in Sierra Leone, in Africa. So those who are born in Africa, when they go to Dubai, if they are not expatriates, they are only qualified to be laborers. Those who are born in Israel and Saudi Arabia, they are superior to those who are born in Afghanistan. Emperor Haile Selassie said, until that philosophy that makes you think that because of your race, because of your economic power, because of your military might is now race, you are superior to the other man, there will be war. He said, and until there are no more first class and second class citizens of any nation, God created all of us in his image, in his likeness. What is important to God is not my color, it's the breath of life. When he withdraws the breath of life from you, you will decay. You will be contaminated in 72 hours, irrespective of your color. So Emperor Haile Selassie was telling the League of Nations and the United Nations that And until they are no longer first class and second class citizen of any nation. And listen to it. He said, and until the basic human rights is equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. Hey, this man. Until the basic human rights, until that right that makes Charles Taylor a president of a sovereign nation was arrested for war crime, and he will spend the rest of his life in a British jail. But Tony Blair, who orchestrated the crisis in Iraq, was elevated to the European Union envoy to the Middle East. Until when everybody will be seen equal. Until when the human rights court cannot indict an individual, a set of people say this man should not go to court. That's why he said, and until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to us without regard to race, there will be wars. Why do we fight wars? I am lamenting because I am a victim of war. I never enjoyed my youth life in a peaceful environment 20-something years ago. I've been running away from one refugee camp to another. I was asking, why are we fighting? Why Sierra Leoneans will cannibalize another Sierra Leonean? Why should one tribe see themselves superior to another? When we fought in Sierra Leone, we said because we have a multi-tribal society. What about Somalia? Only one tribe. Do you know how many years they fought for? They are still fighting. South Sudan, the youngest country in the world that have been adopted by the United Nations. On the 9th of July, 2011, South Sudan joined the membership of the United Nations. 2 years later, 2013, Salva Kiir and Riek Machar, the Dinka and the Nuer, 2 tribes in Sudan, they started killing each other. When they were with the Arabs, we said it is the Arabs that were killing them because of their color. But when they became independent, they are fighting wars. That's why Alpha Blondy said in his 1986 album, where apartheid system is Nazism, there is a track there that he called Come Back Jesus. The first line in that track, he kept asking, why we fighting wars? I wonder why. It is noted for those lyrics. Don't forget, he was the one that was saying that we want peace in Liberia, peace in Morovia, because every day they are talking about the Liberian civil war, and everywhere over challenge, mighty rivers of blood, oh Lord, no matter who wins, Liberia is crying out, no matter who lose, Liberia still crying now. No matter who's right, they gotta stop the war. No matter who's wrong, the devil's still stronger. Why do we fight? Out of the Box podcast is asking in this monologue, why do we fight wars? In the Middle East, they said all those fighting fraternity, they are all tied their umbilical cord to Father Abraham, the father of faith, according to Christian, according to Muslims, according to Judaism. No wonder Alpha Blondy in his 1987 album, Jerusalem, in that track, he said, you can see Christian, Jews, and Muslims living together and praying, amen. Let's give thanks and praises. All of them derived from Father Abraham. But 75 years today, they have been fighting the United Nations, and all powerful member states cannot ensure peace in the Middle East. Why do we fight? Why is China threatening Taiwan? Why? That is why the same Alpha Blondy in that 1984 track, Cocody Rock, in 1984 album, Cocody Rock, he has a track there that he called Interplanetary Revolution. He said, listen to the radios and you got to look. The news will rock your soul. Everything they are saying is promoting wars. You got the headlines, space between the lines, crimes and brutality still going on and on and on. And war industry still a growing strong and strong and stronger. It's an interplanetary. Bob Marley say everywhere is war. And there is so war. Out of the Box podcast is calling on world peace. Ladies and gentlemen, world leaders, there will be no peace until that philosophy that promotes divisiveness, that promotes superiority and inferiority is abandoned. See, until the basic human rights, until a Liberian president who was indicted as a war criminal, even before his case, even before his conviction, the British people have already donated a prison for him. The British Royal Marines cannot even go to jail when they kill people on the war front, but an African president. He was even sent to court by my country, Sierra Leone. He was not sent to the African Union courts in Tanzania, Arusha. When we have our own courts, we have to send our African brothers to The Hague. The Hague, where the leaders who are financing it, they cannot even go to that court. What a shame. That is why Eric Donaldson, the Jamaican reggae legend, in his song, Land of My Birth, he was very, very profound when he said, in that beautiful song, he said, come to Jamaica, the land of my birth. Come and enjoy the sun of Jamaica. But listen, my friend, not because we don't have money, that means we are not happy. Yes, that's what Donaldson said. Say some people say we are poor, but forget it. It's not because of the money that you have that determines your happiness. I think Jesus Christ said it in Luke. He said a man's joy is not determined by what is in his pocket. So friends and well-wishers, this is a wake-up call from the Out of the Box podcast. Once again, let me tell you that the episodes are on their ways coming. You will see more and more episodes. Subscribe, like, comments. Subscription is free of charge. Out of the Box podcast. Thank you very much.